A deer grows up in the forest, falls in love, and punches a dog in the throat.
Welcome to the Walt Vault with Andre,
Michelle,
Emily,
and Luis.
We are a family-friendly podcast where each and every week we watch and review a different Disney movie. Be sure to subscribe on all podcast platforms and YouTube. Enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome to the Walt Vault, episode 155.
you were so animated, my friend.
You guys, we're here once again, and on this particular episode, we are going to be explicit.
EXPLICT.
You see it in the title.
missed an I.
You see it in the description.
EXPLICT. How do you spell it?
Explicity.
We're gonna be so
It
explicit,
works.
we don't even know how to spell no more. Okay, this was not for kids.
You know what's really funny is that well, I mean, if you're a longtime listener, you know this, but there was 2 movies we swore we wouldn't do, and this is the culmination of finishing the 2 movies we said we would never do.
Wait, what was the other movie?
Fox and the Hound.
Which we did.
Yeah.
I said that as we were watching this. I was like, oh, Fox and the Hound, now Bambi.
And this week, we are talking about the 1942 animated drama film.
Does it say drama
It
film?
says drama film right here.
It is a drama.
Bambi. The
Yeah.
deer.
Yeah, they know who it is.
Oh.
It's a deer. They know.
It's a deer.
So let's go into our first impressions of
It's a
this
deer.
really old Technicolor Disney movie.
Whoa. What about my question?
Well,
Well, we do first impressions first.
Do we?
Yeah, we always do.
you know what? Let him ask.
It's never stuck in my mind. Have I
It's
not
because
been
you never
paying
pay attention, bro.
Luis, I'll let you go first.
Hold on, you had to say it first.
Oh, we asked a question. I don't know.
It gets crazier every time.
Well, I mean, the only reason why I ask is because, like, if we look at the timeline of things, it seems like a very abrupt pause if we ask a question that may not be related to the film.
Okay.
Okay, fair
That's
enough. Luis wants to give the warm-up question first. And what is that today?
Yes, we're gonna
Okay.
warm up.
It's
So-
explicit, I heard.
Well,
I heard.
Okay,
I
so
heard.
again,
Grapevine.
you know, I listen to a podcast about soccer, and sometimes I get questions of the
Of course he
day,
does.
questions of the day, which are pretty cool. Okay, and then
Okay.
some are a little bit explicit. You know, Redmen TV. I do have to admit, every now and then you inspire me to ask the hard questions of the day.
We're getting a hard question.
I'm pretty
on
sure
our
they're
podcast,
listening
so
from
that,
England.
You know,
From
I
Liverpool.
got to give credit because I can't just say that I didn't come up with it.
Okay.
Okay,
So,
fair enough.
okay.
Word.
So since this is an explicit episode, this might be a little bit gross too. So parents, you know, cover your
Your own ears.
your ears and the ears of your children. Okay.
They should
so,
be listening anyways. It's
So.
explicit.
if you were cursed
Okay.
with one of the following, which would it be?
Okay.
You every time you sit down, you soil yourself, or
Well,
every
wait,
time
number 2.
2,
Okay.
or every time you stand up, you soil yourself, number 1.
Oh.
A poop or a pee?
A sit or a stand.
A
Okay,
sit or a
if I
stand?
sit down, I take a poop. If I stand up, I take a piss.
Yeah.
The way you say
You had to choose. You have to
Based
choose
on
one
my-
every time.
Based on my daily life,
I
I'm
have a
just imagining
question.
how funny this is in the gym because, like, if I squat but
You
my
squat.
butt hits
No.
Oh,
You have to be
It's-
seated.
You have to be seated.
in a chair.
Here's my question. What
chair?
if
I'd
I
never sit in a
am
chair again.
prone, like laying down?
No, then you're safe.
Okay, so sitting in a chair and standing up from the chair.
So, what
Okay.
I am going to do
I know what I'm going to do.
is choose stand and pee.
Okay.
And then I am converting my life to a wheelchair life. I will be seated at all times.
Oh.
Oh.
See, my
interesting.
answer was a little easier. I was just gonna wear a diaper.
And
Wow,
choose,
that's
which, and
thinking
choose
out-
which one? The poop one?
The P one.
Oh, okay.
That's a pretty good thing outside the box.
Yeah.
I never thought of
The
that.
only thing
Yeah, a diaper is a bit
Yeah.
more convenient than a wheelchair, I think.
I was like, well, he went extreme.
I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy a ramp and one of them vans.
Mine was more cost effective.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah,
just
I
so I
just wear a
don't
diaper.
pee myself all the time.
I sit down a lot. I don't get up that much. So
And then, if danger comes or whatever, if somebody's chasing
Luis is
me
smiling because he didn't know that
in my
that we were
wheelchair,
gonna say
I
that.
do still have the ability to stand. I'm
So
just gonna
yours
get
is
up
expensive,
and
yours
pee
is
myself.
smart, and mine's just gonna be athletic because I was gonna do the stand up and pee.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
I was gonna stay standing up all day long.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna jump into my bed straight.
So, but when do you pee then?
When she
Well, I
has
guess
to.
when I get up in the morning and then I take a shower
only pee
standing
So
once
what?
up.
a day?
So what? Are you gonna crawl to the restroom and then stand up, and that's your pee?
You only pee once a day?
Uh,
You can only pee standing up, dude. Like a man.
No, you're going to pee when you stand up.
yes, I'm
Can
gonna
she
stay
still
standing.
can she still pee sitting
Oh,
down?
are you talking about our normal bodily functions?
Yeah.
Still a thing?
I don't want to lie. This is
Yeah.
way easier for a dude. Okay, I can't do the same things you can do standing.
That's true. I can put myself in a pretty good position standing
What
up.
are you talking about? Actually, if we
To
were
pee.
kilts,
That's
it'd
what-
be a whole lot
Well,
more.
Well,
if I
I'm-
chose to sit down and poop, I'd be more regular.
I'm saying, like, okay, I wake up in the morning. I'm in my bed. Okay, I know that as soon as I stand up, I'm going to pee.
Yeah.
I can either diaper it,
Bucket.
like Rochelle
diaper
said,
it.
or, bucket. I just put a bucket right by my bed.
Get a
I sleep
bucket and a
underwearless
mop.
And here's my thing.
into the bucket.
How hard is
Into
that?
it.
I'm going to sit down to go to the restroom anyways.
Yeah.
Get it all out. Stand up.
Get it out again.
Stand over a bucket. Stand
Well,
up
maybe
all
I-
day long. Get in my freaking steps.
Maybe I don't have to pee all the time because I don't always have to pee when I have to pee, you know? And then...
Can't
is
wait
it
till you're pregnant. This is going to
every
be such
time
a
you
different
stand up, you have
conversation.
to pee even if there's no pee in you?
Yep.
Oh.
It's annoying. I'm going to get a UTI.
Good God.
You won't get a UTI for peeing.
Okay, Luis, which one would you
Yeah,
do?
what
Yeah.
would you do?
Honestly, I'd definitely go for pissing myself. Like, no doubt.
Okay.
Like, I would much
Oh,
rather
he just
piss
straight up
myself.
pissing himself. He didn't have a strategy.
Yeah, he didn't have
I
He was
mean-
like,
A solution
"Oh,
to
piss
this
myself."
crazy problem.
I mean, I'm just saying, at some point, your strategy's gonna fail, and what would you rather it fail with, piss or shit? I'd rather fail with piss.
Right.
Well, absolutely.
You know,
That's like
I would just,
not a question.
I mean, if we're gonna take a loophole here, I guess a diaper one would be the best choice.
I
But
thought my athleticism sounded great.
Sure. Except
Yeah, Andre likes his wheelchair
I
because
love
he just
my
wants me to push him around.
15-hour standing up days. Those are super fun.
But here's my thing. Every single time that happens, I'm always going to have a bottle of water near me. So as I'm standing up, I'm drinking water. Whoop, it falls down. People will never know. Then I
But you
say,
have to bring so many changes of clothes.
well,
I thought you were bringing the
sacrifice.
water so that you could. Or the,
I thought you were going to pee in the bottle.
I thought he was going to pee in the bottle too.
No.
You're not very.
People aren't good at
Never
peeing
mind.
in bottles.
Yeah, see, I'm hanging a bottle on my hip.
Yeah.
and
I'm
it's
just
right
saying,
here.
unless you freaking get a strap on and put the bottle
Luis,
on
we
your...
don't need to see you
Bro,
do it.
so like
On your
especially for my
piece.
wheelchair idea, okay, I strap a bottle onto the chair, okay? I'm wheeling around, I'm doing my thing. I need to stand up because my legs, they're gonna atrophy or whatever. So I grab the bottle, position, a stand, and then I sit back down. This is great.
Again,
Easy peasy.
we're talking about this is not something that's going to happen in private. I mean, you're going to be at work doing a conference
You
for your
don't know
colleagues
that.
teaching. No, I'm telling you, you can't escape this.
Andre
So-
is going to scoot
Bro.
his ass
Tell
in
her
I'm
there.
rolling,
the question
okay?
wasn't that I couldn't.
Excuse me,
escape
ladies and
it.
gentlemen, I need to use
So what,
the
for
toilet.
every-
I'm wearing a diaper.
So for every
Nah,
other
roll.
hypothetical question we ask, you're going to be on some fucking little bubble?
I
No,
do this all the
it's
time.
real
I make
life.
excuses for everything.
It's
Yeah, we
real
all do.
life.
This is called a loophole.
No,
Yeah, there's
no.
loopholes in real life.
See, that's the problem with our society nowadays.
Oh.
Always trying to find
Can you
fucking
please?
loopholes.
Can you please mute him?
Hey,
We're done.
should I get the chair with the remote
right.
control, or should I just like
I'm
freewheel
just
this and
saying.
get
Moving
super
on.
big
You want
arms?
Talk
arms
about
or
Best
do you want
strategy: accidentally spill water on yourself every time. No one will ever know. And then
How would
change.
they
Every time
know?
you stand up,
Okay, here's
No
the deal.
loopholes, I win.
We're talking about animal behavior. Let's just move on into our first impressions
Hot dose
about
spring?
a movie for animal behavior.
Yes, Luis, since you have to I dip, you dip, we dip out of here, you get to give your first impression of Bambi first.
Damn, this movie sucked. Jesus. There was nothing appealing about this movie. Literally watching a nature show. Like,
But not real animals.
but
the
anyway.
young deer is born in spring and starts to walk. Mama takes it to eat. The winter comes. What will they do? And then spring comes and the young deer is alive again.
alive again.
And then its natural predator, the man, That's literally what it was.
Oh, that was really entertaining.
It
More
was
than the movie.
literally a damn nature show. It sucked. But still better than Chicken Little. I did say that. I did say that.
I see.
Oh, I will take that to the grave. Way better than Chicken Little. A million.
There's no way Bambi was better than Chicken.
And that's Luis's first impression. He's gone.
I'm gonna say mine too. I don't like nature docs
Okay.
at all. It's not my
Really?
jam. No, and I know you guys do.
Yeah, Andre and I love that shit.
Heck no.
Straight up.
Like Luis and I watched one that was like about snow leopards or something, and I literally just sat there rolling my eyes the whole time. I don't like it. Animals are great and all, but like, do you in the wild, dude? We don't need to be all up in your business.
Just do whatever you're doing out there. I don't care.
You know.
I don't need to see it.
We don't need to animalistically profile them. Let them be.
Oh my gosh.
And that's what was happening in this movie.
Yeah. Let
All right.
that dude be.
Let the dude be.
Okay. I didn't like that whole thing about it because I didn't care. Like there was no reason for me to care about it. And I guess I was expecting more action or more plot. There was no
Yeah.
plot in this movie. I
Right.
was like, well,
Yeah, I do agree with that.
Okay. I mean, what am I supposed to care about this deer? Because I don't.
I guess so. He's Bambi. He's the,
Oh, he's gonna get
he's the
swinged.
He's the new
Okay,
prince.
good for him. Okay, he has a dad. That's nice. Bye, mom.
Yeah.
Part of life, brah.
Yeah. And then it's
Basically.
over.
All right,
Michelle?
on. Oh, you want me to go next?
Yeah, you go next.
The first half I didn't really like, and the ending was okay. It like picked up at the end or whatever. But I do like nature documentaries, but like real ones,
You mean not with fake animals?
not with fake animals. The only thing I liked about this movie was Thumper. Like Thumper is the homie. He's very cute and funny, but the movie's called Bambi. Okay, and I didn't really like Bambi, so it's really hard. I know it. Sometimes I feel bad because like we're a Disney podcast and we're literally called the Walt Vault, where these old movies are in the vault, and we should be appreciating them more for what they are, and blah 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 blah. But you know what? We're no cookie cutter Disney podcast here,
No, we're
and
not.
we'll hate on an old movie if we don't like it. And I feel like people might listen to this and be like, oh, "You should appreciate Bambi because
They
Walt
hated on
Disney
Bambi."
wrote it." And
I
blah,
will
blah,
say,
blah, blah.
I will say the one thing that
Technical advancements. I get it.
I do like this type of movies animation.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not the animation, but like
The whole Technicolor stuff. Where it's
yeah, like
drawn.
where it's one on top of the other and
Yeah.
then
Right.
it moves. I think that's really cool to watch
Yeah.
because we don't see that at all.
Although
anymore.
the snow was making me really dizzy when it was
yeah, that
falling in
wasn't
front of the
fantastic.
screen. So it was okay.
Oh, and the repetition. Like, did you notice? Like, it would be the same
Yeah.
like animation over and over, like
Oh.
to show something. It's
Well,
like,
yeah.
what? I really appreciate
Yeah.
They do that a lot.
It was
Yeah, I
very
know, but in the
simple.
same scene over and over, it was fun.
I think I did make the comment that I'm not really sure why this was a children's movie and if a child would be entertained by this, because I don't think they would, really.
Did the kids watch it?
Oh, they thought it was the cat's PJs.
Really?
That's what I thought.
Well, I guess I take
They
it
loved
back.
it.
Andre, first impression.
So I did not have as strong of a negative opinion about this movie as it seems everybody
Mine
else
wasn't
did.
that strong. It wasn't
I
super
thought
great.
that overall it is a pretty plotless movie.
Yeah.
And it has long sequences of very boring nothingness happening, you know? And so the boring nothingness on top of no plot makes for like 45 minutes of snooze fest of a movie. But Michelle, you hit it right on the head. The third act is like action packed, and
But that's it, though.
and there's a lot of it that reminds me a lot of like The Lion King. Like
Yeah.
I was thinking throughout this movie that like, dang, Lion King is kind of a rip off of Bambi. But in actuality, I think it's more like a 2.0 version of like, okay, let's follow this animal's life as it grows up and it faces adversity or whatever.
They'll put an
But
actual
the
plot.
Lion King did it like in the most baller way humanly possible,
Yeah.
and
I
Bambi
mean, it's
kind of
not
like
a
Well, I mean,
farted it out.
They
Type
did.
of
They did
story.
rip it off from Hamlet, but that's cool too.
That too.
Yeah.
That as well. Yes, correct. So overall, I'm not like itching or dying to watch this movie again for a long time.
Babe, you freaking fell asleep on the couch halfway through.
Correct. That I put that in my notes. So 45 minutes in, I was like, as soon as Bambi's mom gets shot, I'm like, all
Yeah,
right,
and
it's
I was
night
like,
time.
babe, she died, and he's conked out.
So I watched the rest of it
I
today.
thought she was gonna die at the beginning for some
So
reason.
it's funny that you say that because I think I've said this before, but I remember distinctly the one and only time I watched this in my life. I was like maybe 6 or 7. I was at my grandma's house. She used to live in Modesto. I remember the house. I remember the room I was in. I remember where I was sitting.
Okay.
And I remember being so appalled. I stopped watching it and it was over. And I thought in my head, like, this is so sad. This is awful, right? So I was waiting for it too, Michelle. I was like, okay, she's going to die. She's going to die. And the kids are watching it and Luisa's like looking it up on his phone
To
where
see
she
when it's gonna
dies.
happen.
And I kept telling Addie, like, this movie's about real life and, you know, life. And when you get old, you die. And I'm trying to, like, talk
Prep
her
her
through
for
it
it.
just in
Yeah.
case it, like, pops up and we didn't know it. And he's like, oh, well, it's not until it's snowing outside. And I'm like, well, it's spring. So I guess we've got
Guess we
time.
got some time.
Right? So he tells me, like, exactly when it is. And so I do, like, the, 15-second forward.
Okay.
And we literally, like,
Just
beautifully
passed right
passed
over
it.
it.
And then it just kind of kept going. And I kind of sad that we didn't watch it.
You should have
'Cause
just
now-
watched it. They don't even show the mom. So I thought that they were going to show the mom and Bambi was going to be like crying over his mom's dead body like the Lion King. All they're doing is they're running out of the meadow. So spring comes, he sees the grass, they eat the grass, and then mom's like, Bambi, we got to go. And they're
Gotta get
running
outta
out of
here.
the meadow, and she's like, keep running. And you hear the gunshot, but they don't show it. And then Bambi gets all the way back home, and he's like, Mom. Mom. And then his dad shows up, and it's like, your mother's not
Okay, so
coming
we
back.
saw all of that.
Right.
So we didn't miss it.
No,
Yeah.
you literally did not miss it.
It was.
They
They
don't.
didn't show it.
anything.
Oh.
So I thought it wasn't as sad as I thought it was going to be.
It's
Oh,
just
yeah.
mostly inferred, and
It's
then
inferred, yeah.
and it's not even as sad as you think it's gonna be because his dad is right there. He's like,
Yeah.
"Hey, come on, bro, I'm raising you
He's
now."
like,
And I was
well,
like, "Oh,
I'm
okay,
your dad, and
I guess
now we're
Dad's
gonna
here."
go- Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That's
that
more
was
than
it.
Simba
They-
got.
So then I
thought
didn't-
he was going to like,
Yeah.
Mufasa, you know what I mean? No, that did not happen.
Oh, so then I didn't miss anything.
No, you really
No,
didn't.
you didn't.
Interesting.
You didn't
No,
miss
because we got right to the part where he's like running back into the thicket. So then I did.
So you just missed the gunshot sound. That's about it. Which they had heard in the other parts of the movie.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Where they like, who's that?
Who that there?
Who did that?
Who that there?
Okay, well, interesting.
Yeah, you didn't miss
I was like, wow, that was kind of anticlimactic. I don't know if I was. Yeah, I guess I was kind of
the
expecting.
fire was more intense than the mom dying.
for sure.
I was like, no, the forest is gone. That happens in California like every summer, by the way.
Right now.
Like right now, the national forests are closed because I feel like every summer they're like, this is the biggest fire in California history.
Yeah, for the past couple of years.
Well, and for the
that's been
last
the truth.
2 weeks or so,
It's been
it's
awful.
so bizarre because it'll be beautiful summer skies out, and then like within a couple hours or even overnight, we'll wake up and it'll be smoky.
Orange,
Like the
yeah.
sky's orange.
Can't even see the sun.
It's disgusting outside.
Can't
Apocalyptic.
And
breathe.
literally, like schools will not let kids outside.
Yeah, but they can still go. We just don't let them outside.
Yeah, they.
Hey,
I
we
mean,
should get fire days.
right.
Yeah, like how they get
you
snow
see
days.
people wearing masks like for
Fire.
For
fire
fire,
and
not
smoke,
for-
not for COVID. It's just
Yeah.
crazy, but
It's like pretty normal here. Like I've seen multiple huge fires, like driving to SoCal and stuff. And Andre, my babe, said the other day he was at
My
his
babe
office. He was like, "It smells like somebody lit 1,000,000 cigarettes in our office."
Oh, it was.
Because
No,
I
no,
think the
I mean,
AQI where we were was like 152, and where he works it was like 405.
yeah, I work up in the mountains, like very near to where the fires were. So my office was just filled with smoke last week, just full to the brim.
And he
It
would
was
come home
hazy
being
in
like,
there. I couldn't see
"Can't breathe."
into like the
Shut
other room.
up.
It was
I'm
very
serious.
smoky.
I was like, "Can they send you home?" And he was like, "Prisons don't sleep."
Nah,
That's
dude.
true, but-
It's prison life, baby. 24/7.
blood in, blood out.
Blood in, blood out. Smoke in, smoke out. All right? No matter
So that
what.
part was more sad to me because it was like more relatable. Like I get that the mom.
Oh,
got
does your
shot.
mom get shot every week, Michelle?
No, I'm not saying it's not relatable, but that was like almost like I feel like as a deer, they should teach their youth that they might get shot, but they're not prepared
Teach
for fire.
your youths.
They're not prepared for fire. His dad was still there. I think, like Andre said, I was like, "Oh, his mom's dead. Oh, his dad's there. Okay."
Yeah, if Daddy had
At
to
least he
come in
wasn't
for like
orphaned.
a week.
But I
Right.
thought he became orphaned. I thought the skunk and the bunny raised him or something.
Agreed.
So I guess I
I
watched
thought
the
Thumper
wrong
was
bunny.
like his like
His homie.
Uncle
Yeah.
Baloo
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
figure or
So
whatever.
did I.
his bunkle.
His
That's
bunkle.
very interesting because you just don't remember everything as a kid.
Yeah.
That you watch.
Now, I hadn't seen this movie since I was like under 5. I'm pretty sure it's been.
I was probably Emily's age, like 7 or 8.
It's been several
I thought
dozen
you meant
years.
like right now.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, I saw it right now. But,
No, I thought you meant like my age right now. So you were 30 when you saw
girl, I'm younger than you.
Whatever, young gun.
it. Must feel nice to be a child, Michelle.
Only one of our friends left in the 20s.
Yeah, you don't got long. So.
Face you make up.
Rude. You fucking rude.
So yeah, Bambi. The movie is it's very short. It was an hour and 12
That was
minutes.
the best part of it, dude.
But it still felt long to me.
I didn't make it through, the whole thing in one sitting.
Did it feel long to you?
Only because I was bored.
Right.
And Luis and I kept looking at each other because we were sitting, like the way our couches are positioned right now, they're like across from each other.
Mm-hmm.
So I was sitting on one and he was sitting on the other and the kids were off to the side and we just kind of kept looking at each other like, are you serious? It's still going.
So they liked it. Will you explain to me why they liked it?
I think that it's weird because I've been expecting my kids to think old movies are like
dumb and lame.
dumb or not interesting because the animation is so different. Because
Right.
ours is so fantastical now.
Right. The 3D ones,
It's
especially.
But that's
crazy.
not what they're looking
Like
at as much.
Moana and I mean whatever
Pixar.
whatever it is, it's so awesome. Luca.
Mm-hmm.
I mean the things we're looking at are just insane. Even like Bug's Life and Toy Story, it's just it doesn't matter. It's so much better.
Mm-hmm.
And my kids like really enjoy Peter Pan and Alice in Wonderland that are just so much
Those ones are
older.
good.
Those ones are good.
I mean,
but
despite that, I think there is a timelessness to this animation
for
and this
sure.
animation
There
style.
definitely is.
and it's
you
still
know?
beautiful.
Right, it looks great.
And the music in this one was pretty. I mean, it's not like super memorable, but it was like
It's
it went
cute.
with the movie.
Yeah, it was
What was
cute.
the song that we both remembered?
The April Showers one.
Yeah. It
Oh,
started
yeah.
saying drip, drop, drip, drip. April
Yeah, we both started
showers.
singing it. I was like, how the hell do we know that?
Dude, I'm just
Childhood.
glad they don't have a freaking Bambi ride. Okay, getting shot at. It's like Indiana Jones.
That would be hilarious. you are
Instead of
a
going to
deer in the
hell-
forest,
Instead
right?
of going to hell like on Mr. Toad, you
Yeah.
just get shot.
Just gigantic statuesque dudes with big old guns.
Shotguns coming at you. Rifles.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anywho, yeah, no, the kids thought it was great.
That's good.
They were like, "Ooh, Bunny, Mama, that's a skunk. You think he smells bad, but his name is Flower."
You know, they didn't do
That's the
any.
funniest part.
They didn't do a single like skunk joke at all. Like no farts at all.
Also, is Flower a boy? I thought Flower was a girl at first.
Okay, yeah. Let's
I
talk.
think they're all
let's talk about
boys.
Flower's gender.
I know
right.
that they're all boys, but Flower was hella flirting and all bashful and stuff and sounded like a girl when he was a baby. And then he grew up and was pulling bitches, and I was like, that's a boy!
Pulling bitches. It's
Sorry.
okay. We're good.
I just pulled Andre's whole setup.
We're good. We're good.
Well,
Everything's
Anyway,
chill.
so I didn't realize. Well, and even Bambi at first, I was like, they said prince, but it sounds like a girl.
I
And
just want to know why he a prince. Like, what you prince of?
I guess
yeah, the
because
forest.
the dad. Well,
Because
no,
the
he's the
dad's
prince.
old.
He's the great prince. Who
they
the king?
said the little prince. They're
Right.
just calling them princes.
Bambi's a little prince, and then the dad is a great prince.
But like, of what?
The forest. Their mom explained that he's just well respected, and he is the deer that has lived
He's been
the
he's
longest.
been here the longest.
So he's just head of the pack.
The deer pack.
He's Daddy Prince.
Daddy prince.
He does kind of look like a daddy.
Well, yeah, I asked Luis. I was like, "So do you think this is like a lion thing, where it's like he's the dad of all of the
No.
deer?" But it's funny
mean,
because
maybe.
he's the only baby deer. So like, he's the only baby prince. Like,
and also like in
the
the
girl
scene,
prince, they didn't say like she's a princess.
the girl prince. Yeah,
The girl,
they
the
didn't
girl
say
deer.
princess.
Celine.
But actually, yeah, like in the scene where Bambi first goes to like the meadow for the first time, I think we see all the other deer
Mm-hmm.
running around, and they're all like young bucks or whatever. They're like teenage deer, and it's like, well, when were y'all born?
Maybe we
Like
should look
6
this
months
up.
ago.
Did deer like live in a pack, or did they just live in their family?
And who's all y'all's dad? Is it that guy? Is it my dad?
are we brothers
Are
and
you?
sisters?
Are all 85 of you my brothers?
You
I
know
feel
what's
like we should know this. We live around deer.
do we?
Yeah, every time I go to Monterey, I see deer on the golf course. You never seen
We
that?
don't live in Monterey. We don't be going to no golf course.
You just drive by it and there's still deer there.
But that's far away. There's
One
no-
time
What a fancy rich white person
yeah,
are
there's
you?
no deer
I'm not
here.
fancy nor rich. One time my sister was driving home from Yosemite and she didn't hit a deer. The deer ran into her car on the side of her
So
car.
she-
So
hit it.
she says.
And no, she said it ran into her car and then it died, but it and then she had to call the ranger, and she was scarred for life and hasn't been to Yosemite since.
Dang.
Wow, that was a story.
She killed the great prince.
Oh no! I don't know the
He ain't no
deer's
Great
name.
Prince no more.
No more.
He didn't survive the car.
The not
Okay,
so
so
great.
here's the weird thing for me. It was very weird for me to watch this movie because
Yeah.
obviously I haven't watched this movie enough times to have memories of it or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I have watched the I don't even know what you call it. The Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Red-Nosed
Exactly
Reindeer.
what you're talking about.
The it's not claymation. What is that?
The Christmas, yeah, it is claymation.
claymation.
Okay, so the
Right.
claymation version of
Stop motion,
It's stop
but
motion.
it's clay too, right?
whatever it is, you
Yeah.
know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He has
I've
this
watched
guy on
that movie probably 8 million times.
Yeah.
Like that
Okay.
was my childhood.
Yeah.
And so watching this felt super reminiscent of that, and or that is reminiscent of this,
Right.
obviously because of age, because of the way everything moved. So it was weird watching this because I was expecting Cornelius to come out and like the big, abominable
Cornelius.
snowman.
He
and,
goes, I love him. He's like,
ho ho ho, Santa.
he's always peppermint.
Do you guys enjoy those sounds?
He hits the ice, licks the pick.
all of them things.
I don't know. So
Okay,
when I was watching,
ASMR episode.
so when I was watching
Gross.
this, all I was thinking about was that Christmas movie,
That's funny. I wasn't.
which I enjoyed way
I
more
wasn't
than
thinking
this.
of that, but the only thing that I was reminded of is that there was a lot of birds. And the very beginning, right before Mr. Owl goes into his tree to take a nice sleepy bye, there was this bird, and it was like doo 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 doo, and it was the exact same bird that does that same sound in Cinderella.
Was it a little bluebird?
It does. Yes, it's a bluebird in Cinderella, but I don't know what bird was it in here. It didn't
Oh.
show the bird, but it did that bird sound.
Oh, but you heard the
doo,
sound.
doo, doo, doo. So they took that bird sound from this movie and put it in Cinderella. Y'all reusing bird sounds?
They were using
Can
all
y'all
kinds of
chill?
stuff.
You know what they got to do to get the bird sounds? It's a dude walking in the forest with a mic, and he's just going up like
I
this.
don't think so.
Shut
That's exactly what sound design artists they do.
In the 40s, that's what they did. You
Yes!
gotta look that up, homie. They get these animal sounds from the forest. I don't believe you.
I wish you guys
That
could
was my
see
bird
him
sound.
with his freaking
His
boom
eyes
mic.
go
There's a
so
big old
big,
pack
like-
right here, okay? It's a long cord. It's attached to his car, and he's going out there.
In the 40s.
What bird says doo 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 doo?
I'm done with you guys. This is enough.
Okay, so
That was the
honestly-
entire plot.
So you better
Well,
let
the
them
thing
use
is,
that.
there's no plot for us to really talk about. It goes through the seasons.
The plot is
So spring,
Bambi growing up.
Baby is born. Summer, him and Thumper having a grand old time. Me and Flower, he's learning how to smell things.
He's learning how to talk, yeah.
Then it's the fall, and he gets to go to the meadow because he's a little older. He learns about humans.
Mm-hmm.
Winter was sad, though. Oh, so cold.
Winter happens, they have
Dude,
to
the best part
go into a
about Winter,
cave.
though, was seeing Flower the skunk, and they're trying to wake him up. And he's like, I'm hibernating. Wake me up when it's spring, homie.
That was funny.
Thumper just woke his ass up, like,
Dude, I like Thumper, though. He's so funny. I can't remember. There was one point where they were eating clover, and he was like, just eat the tops. And Thumper's mom was like,
don't eat that nasty
Thumper,
green
what
stuff.
did your father tell you? And he says something about eat the green.
It gives you big feet, long ears.
And then he looks at me and he's like, but it really stinks. I made enough on myself. Like, the only thing I liked was Thumper.
Thumper was
He
super
was
cute.
very cute.
I
Yeah.
liked it when they were ice skating too. That was
Oh,
funny.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
funny.
Like trying to pick up his butt and his
You
legs.
try to push this in his legs so that
Like,
he would
Bambi's
stand
an
up.
idiot. Just freaking stand up. But also,
Just slide on your
legs
back,
are
dog.
weird. You know, deer's legs.
They're so
knees
long.
Go backwards.
They're longer than his body is
Oh,
long.
for sure.
You know?
Thumper was hilarious, though.
Yeah, Thumper was
So
cool.
then it gets winter's
Careful,
done.
foot.
Okay? And now.
And we respring.
Yes, whatever, the dad dies, whatever. Okay, so now Bambi is a teenager and has horns.
The dad
okay?
died.
No, I'm sorry.
The mom dies.
Oh,
The mom dies and he grows up with the dad for the rest of the winter. So now it's like the heart of spring and the animals are finally coming out.
and they are coming out.
And this is where things
coming
started to
out.
get interesting.
It's so
for
cool.
me.
It's so cool.
I was like, what the fuck? is
Bambi's there.
happening?
He's like, hey, guess what? I'm big now. And they're like, whoa,
He has his
cool.
horns,
And then
yeah.
Thumper's like, check this out. Whiskers, dog. Like, that looks like a little mustache. And then Flower's there and is like, I look the same.
Yeah, but the voice was different different. I was like, oh shit, Flower's a boy.
Yeah, I guess so.
Luis was like, "Is this where Pepe Le Pew come from?"
Yeah.
Dude, I kept trying to remember the skunk's name before watching the movie, and I kept saying Pepe Le Pew, and Andre was like, that's not it. And then finally, like right as the movie started, I was like, it's Flower, it's Flower.
Yeah, she got it. She
funny.
nailed it. So yeah, the boys are hanging out. They're back from hibernating. They're all grown now.
Boys are back.
And and they're talking to Mr. Owl. And
Because the owl's pissed because the Tweety birds won't
the
shut
birds
up
are
'cause
they're just good. They're banging all over the place.
What
It's
are they
disgusting.
doing? Twitter pating?
They're Twitter pating,
Twitter-pating.
okay? So Mr. Owl is
banging,
like,
okay?
oh, that's Twitter pating, okay? Twitter pating is when you see a pretty girl and you go like, and then you start walking on air, and then you lose your head.
That's when Luis and I kept looking at each other like, oh my god, because his head's like turning around and his body. And
Well, owls do that.
No, I know, but Adeline's like, Mama, Alice in Wonderland, because of
Oh,
like the way
yeah.
he was working and
yeah.
his eyes were
Cheshire
going crazy.
Cat.
Oh yeah, she totally thought it was a
I
Cheshire
mean, all
Cat.
of the animals in these early movies look the
Good
same
God,
too,
they're creepy.
so that makes sense.
But it's so funny because
Dude, yeah, this
makes
was
it
the
sound-
only part that was like very entertaining to me.
he makes it sound awful, but he's talking about like falling in love, I guess,
No,
or
he's
just like
talking-
mating season
He's
in
talking
general.
about mating season, okay? So we know this with animals, that spring is mating season. We get our jollies once a month when we're
Get our
ovulating.
jollies.
Women get their jollies once a month
Okay,
when they're ovulating.
okay,
But these fools
okay.
get it in the spring, okay?
I'm done.
You can cut this out of the...
No,
Please.
absolutely not.
You guys.
Get our jollies.
They
So
do that for the whole season.
so
and that's about it.
the birds
Only
are
in the
the
spring.
birds are Twitter pating
And the bees.
The birds and the bees, they're going at it, and the boys
having sex, okay, people?
the boys are
We
like
know what it means,
Just
Michelle.
saying.
the boys are like. This is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not having no Twitter pating happening to me. Okay?
like,
and they're all like, yeah, me neither. Yeah, me neither. I'll never be Twitter pated. And then
was
they
cute. It
they
was
walk
funny.
like 5 paces east or whatever.
Yeah,
and
who is it?
and
It's
Flower
Flower first,
Flower
yeah.
sees a female skunk who I couldn't tell was a female skunk at first. I thought it was just Flower because the skunks look exactly
Yeah,
the
they
same.
It had more eyelashes, y'all.
I guess.
She had the eyes.
But Flower sees this other skunk and he's like, bye y'all, I'm Twitter pated.
So funny. Luis was like, oh, I didn't
She like
take long.
kisses him and he like falls over dead. He's like, oh.
He's a plank.
Yeah.
Ba-doom.
Ding. Yeah, I believe his
Yeah.
tail becomes a little rigid.
So funny.
And so they keep going, and
He
Thumper.
really gets hard. I cannot.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
but
Well,
Thumper's.
what did Adam? What
Thumper's
did they
so
think
much
when
worse.
they were watching this? Like they just what are they doing?
I don't
mean,
think
we-
it wasn't sexual, so
No,
I don't
I
think that
know.
they thought.
Right, but we have all seen cartoon characters be horny when we were kids.
I know, and we never thought anything about it.
Exactly.
That's why I'm saying it's so funny watching it as
Oh,
an
yeah.
adult. And
Yeah.
you're like, oh my god.
Uh huh. When you see the
they put
wolf,
this in there just for the adults.
when you see the wolf's eyes come out of his head and he goes ooga ooga whatever, it's
Yeah.
like this dude is hard. Okay.
No,
So-
but it's just funny thinking about it as an adult, you know.
So Thumper does the same thing. He's like, "Psh, whatever, dude. I'm not getting Twitter pated. You can't catch me. And they walk through the
Thumper
forest a
was
little
the
bit more.
funniest one.
And Thumper sees this bodacious bunny, right? She's out there, Lola bunnying it up.
I
And
was gonna say it's like Lola Bunny.
she sees Thumper, and she's like, la 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 la. It's the most annoying song, and she's
That's
like
heck
fluttering her
funny.
eyelashes.
The
and
best is that she like pets him on the head all the time, and his foot will be thumping like.
He thumps so hard.
Oh yeah, he thumping.
Yeah, he thumping.
It was so funny.
She
though.
starts like petting his head, and he's thumping all harder and
I
stuff.
know, and then Bambi looks back and he's like, "Ay, Dios mío,"
He's like,
basically.
you gotta be kidding me
And
with
then
all of this.
Who shows up? Feline.
Feline is a baby deer that he had met. It's one of his mom's
And now
friends'
she's a
daughters or
lady.
whatever.
Probably his sister.
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
Oh, the Great Prince is your dad too. Wait.
Great.
So he sees her, and then they start, they hit it off pretty immediately. He's like,
She's like licking his face.
he gets like weak in the knees, and he starts almost falling over. And then she licks his face. I was like, bro, get it in. It's on. She wants you. And
No, but that other deer had to interrupt.
Oh my God. So
and this
okay.
is where it turned into rape.
Okay,
For me.
pause.
wait. Go
So,
ahead.
listeners, when Andre, Michelle, Luis, and I don't watch, so we normally don't watch the movies together. Sometimes we do, which is entertaining in itself.
Yes.
Yeah.
But when we don't, and there's something like this that happens in a movie, depending on who watches it first, we're like texting the other people.
It
Like,
was you guys first.
yes.
This time.
So I'm like texting them up. Are you pulling it up?
I might pull it
I'm
up.
pretty sure Emily said this movie has rape in it.
And I was like, wow, I was not expecting rape because it reminded me of Sebastian. So I don't know if we talked about this before, but Andre does stand-up comedy and he has a, what do you call it, a bit?
Yeah, I got a bit.
Joke.
I got a joke.
He got a
A yoke.
joke
A yoke.
where he
Yoke.
talks about Sebastian and
Oh, yeah.
Kiss the Girl, and it's
He's
very
good.
and it's very date rapey.
Yeah.
And
that song is date rapey.
this is worse than Sebastian.
Dude, that homie came out of nowhere.
Yeah, this is not date rape. This is
Actual rape.
I see a girl in the forest and I'm gonna pick her up, put her on my shoulder, and go off into wherever.
Like there ain't no
Bushes.
date.
Yeah.
What did Emily say?
Huh?
On the text?
Oh yeah,
Did you find it?
You wrote this was like softcore porn, and then you just kept texting us. You wrote, and now even worse. Wow, this shit is too much. But fitting that I used Sebastian in a GIF.
Well, so she didn't even
Get ready.
say rape, and I assumed
She
what
wrote,
it was.
"Get ready for near miss date rape."
Oh, near miss.
Near miss.
It was a near miss.
It was a near miss because Bambi, he sees this other deer come in, and the deer's like all aggressive and trying to lock horns with him, and he's like, "What is happening? What's going on? What's going on?"
Well, and
And
he
then-
doesn't like his biological instincts aren't quite kicking in yet. Where he's like, "What the heck's
Sure.
going on?"
He doesn't
Because
know how
that
to
deer's
deal.
probably like a year older than him or
Yeah.
something,
Sure.
you know. So he's like, "What am I supposed to do?" And Felipe's
And he
like,
hasn't got any,
"Bambi!"
so he's over here like, I need to do it.
Yeah. So Felina's screaming his name, and Bambi kicks into action. Right? He's like, "Not my Feline!
His testosterone just kicked in immediately, dude.
I just hooked up with her 7 seconds ago.
You look like you're in a wheelchair again.
I can't stand up. I have to
How do you
pee."
do that, the jerk?
No, he's in his wheelchair trying not to pee.
Anyway, so Bambi, he locks horns with this other deer, and then he tosses this motherfucker off a cliff. It's great. He's like, "Bye."
Is that where the expression comes from? Locking horns? Locked horns with?
I think it's
Or is it
I don't know if
goats?
it's deer. Yeah, I think it might be goats. Yeah, lock
But
horns.
all animals with antlers do that.
Yeah. I think
Even rhinos do it.
do moose.
Mooses?
Moose?
Yeah, anything that has antlers.
I said it right. I said moose.
Mooses. They fight like that.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, so he fights him. He tosses him off a cliff, and Feline's like, "Oh my God, thank you so much." And then they do "Can You Feel the Love Tonight" from The Lion King.
Oh my God.
Because a song comes on. The song is called.
Oh, they can feel it tonight.
What is the song called?
I
Dang
don't
it.
freaking know.
And FYI, Michael Matande sends us a freaking or tagged us in
Yeah, he
like
did.
a, what do you call it? In a Lion
A
King
meme?
one
It's
about
like a meme? Yeah.
about feeling the love tonight. He's like, they ain't feeling the love tonight. We're like, oh no, they feeling the love.
It's called "Love Is a Song."
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, but they have a
Oh yeah, he be singing a
they
song.
have a "Can You Feel the Love Tonight" song music video sequence where they're just like frolicking together, and he's like, "Oh wow, I see
Isn't
you in
it
the
like
clouds."
Dream World too?
Yeah, he's on one,
crazy.
you know.
So they homies. They cool now. Then
Oh, they more than
he
homies.
He goes out to the meadow and he's like looking around, and his papa comes up and is like, "The humans are back." And they got like a little setup with like fire.
Right,
and
he
stuff
wakes up in the middle of the
in
night
the middle of the night, and he was like, "We gotta go.
in the afterglow.
We gotta go deep into the forest." And he was like, "But Feline, I have to get Feline." And he was like, "Fine, go get her." And so he runs back to
after
get Feline. The gunshots are already happening, and Feline wakes up, and Bambi's not there.
I just want to know. So what hunter
Mm-hmm.
thinks there's a wildfire? It's time to go shoot some
No,
animals.
there's
No.
a wildfire after this.
The wildfire hasn't started yet.
Oh.
They set
They
up
go
camp.
hunting.
They got up their tents. They have their fire going, and then they go hunting.
The saddest part was
So why did it start?
The fire that the hunters set up caused
It-
the wildfire.
the wind.
The
brushed
wind
it. They
picked
didn't
up
put
their
their fire
fire.
out. So the saddest part of this whole thing was these freaking pheasants are running around.
Oh my God, the
And
pheasants!
The pheasants are like they're like hiding in the brush, like in the grass. And
Stop laughing like
it's not
that.
funny. This part was actually the saddest part
It
of
was
the
so
movie.
funny because of how
You explained it then. It was
because of how
sad.
serious it got immediately. So the pheasant, we cut to the pheasants, right? We were hanging out with Bambi and he's chasing after Feline or whatever. Then we
All
cut,
the animals are running.
we cut to the pheasants because all the animals are running and the pheasants
They're
are
hiding.
lying low in the grass.
Trying to be quiet.
And most of them are trying to be chill. And one of them's like, "You guys, I gotta fly. I gotta fly." They're like, no, don't fly. That's exactly what they want you to do. You can't fly. She's like, oh my God, you guys, I gotta fly. And I'm like, don't fly. And then she's like, ah! And she flies, pow! And gets shot. Feathers, poof.
I was like, what the fuck? That guy is dumb.
I was like, why are they showing me this?
That was sadder than Bambi's mom dying.
Yes.
I saw the feathers on this one. I was like, oh shit.
And she was so scared.
I was like, she's dead.
She was like, you guys, I gotta fly.
Like, why do you have to fly?
Well, you know, it's a bird. You know, you walk past a bird at 3 miles an hour, it flies away. You know, so they're like, I hear gunshots and stuff.
Well, people are like that in fight or flight too. Like if they get nervous, like I'm gonna run away, and it's like, no, if you just stay here and hide, you'll be fine.
You'll be all right. You'll be cool. You'll walk right past us.
Well, that bitch was dead.
I gotta fly.
So the hunters were killing a bunch of
Andre
animals.
cared more about this pheasant than he did about Bambi's
She brought
mom.
the emotion. She was the star of the show.
It was crazy. So, anyways, that happens, and then the fire that they had set a fire at the camp, and it's windy, and they didn't put their fire out. So now the whole forest is on freaking fire.
It's catching on fire.
And now they really have to run into the forest, away from the forest to the river. Feline is scared. The hunting dogs are now set on Feline.
Right. So the hunting dog.
I like how your voice gets all unnerving.
The hunting dog gets set on Feline, right? There's like 15 dogs. It's like, oh my God.
They're scary looking.
Why are there so many dogs that y'all
I
brought?
was like, what kind of
I don't know
dogs?
how many dudes there were. We never see any of the people.
No, we don't.
But we see all these dogs. They chase after Feline. They run her up a rock
Humans was too much animation.
or something like that. They're barking at her, bark, bark, bark. And then Bambi comes out of nowhere. He's like, meow, and he just like runs them through like Pumbaa does to the hyenas. And he just starts fucking these dogs up. It's so cool to watch. He's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's the best shot in the whole movie. You just see Bambi's little hoof, and it goes right into a dog's neck. He goes like, yeah. It's such a silly shot because it's just hoof to neck and then dog going like, oh.
I guess I was expecting one of them to like bite his side and get a little bit more like Beauty and the Beast in there.
He tears these motherfuckers up.
He
tosses them around, and then he's like, Feline, run, it's your time. And she's like, meow, and she zooms off, and then he runs off and he buries them in rocks. He like runs up the side of the cliff.
Louis
And
was
those
like,
dogs are
wow,
dead.
Like,
there's
dang.
murder.
Holy moly.
He wasn't messing around with his Feline. Okay?
That's my girl.
So Feline makes it away, and then Bambi and his dad
Fall down the waterfall.
Because they're running away from the fire, and it's very close. So they
They
go,
have to go to the
along the river, which it was smart. I was like, oh, okay, Great Prince knows what's up. He knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then they get to a waterfall, and they're like, I guess it's time to jump. And they jump, and then they're fine, I guess.
Feline's fine. And
they didn't break no deer legs.
They break no nothing. I was kind of expecting like, dang, is Bambi's dad gonna die right here?
Bambi did get shot.
Oh yeah, we forgot to mention that.
In the leg or something?
What was happening?
The hunters were getting them.
Yeah, I guess the hunters are just around.
Again, the hunters think it's good to hunt in the fire.
That's true. The fire was happening at this point.
Right. And they were running away, and yeah, Bambi jumps. He does a huge jump in the air, and then pew, he gets shot in midair. I was like, oh, dang.
And that literally was it. The last
Yeah,
shot
they were
is
happy. The forest kind of like
chills out.
I don't know if they're in like a different part of the forest now or the forest.
I think they're all down by the lake area,
Kind of
at
comes
the end of the river.
It'll grow back, you know. But Feline has 2 kids, and that's the end.
Right, we cut to a little bit later, and Feline is everybody's gathering again, just like at the beginning of the movie, The Lion King, where Segonia, Babagizo, you know, all that stuff was happening, and they're like a new prince is being born.
Wait, do the copa.
wait.
We like it. Do it.
Wait, what-
Copa. I can't do it. You do it.
It's not good when you do
Wait a
it.
second.
It's not good when I do
I can't get to that part of the song. How's it go?
Oh, she wants you to do it.
Yeah.
No.
I know.
No,
I
you
can't.
have to do it.
I can't remember what part of the song it is.
It's right there. Sing it up. Bye.
Sing leading right up to that part. Wenyama. Sitting bah.
Thank
Is that
you.
it? I almost
Jeez, was
did
that
it.
so hard?
It was hard because I couldn't get there. I couldn't picture the words.
Can you do it again, please?
Thank you. It
It
sounds more authentic when he does
Thank you.
it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, the best part is you just look to the ceiling like it's gonna come down on you.
That's
can't
where
do
I
it.
gotta summon it from the skies, from the heavens. Sitting bah.
That's who she was doing.
That was terrifying.
Looked like he was summoning a demon or something.
Oh, we're too much.
Oh my goodness,
Please
you
don't
guys.
tell me this is like an hour-long episode for this hour-long movie.
We are at 45 minutes
Okay,
exactly.
pack it up.
Great. So did this movie
Pack
make
it up.
money? Because we'll just start getting ridiculous now at this.
So okay, let me.
We're gonna do a crack after this. You're welcome.
Yes, we are gonna do a crack.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be a
this
video
week.
crack.
What can I
Head to
say
patreon.com/the Walt
You're
Vault.
welcome.
You're welcome.
Okay, so let me just read this to you guys, okay? This movie had a budget of $858,000, right? So
I
under
was hearing million.
under a
That's
million.
actually a lot of money.
850,000 for in the 40s? That's a lot.
I mean, yeah, it was still a big movie studio production. I think Snow
But-
White cost like $1 million.
That's true. It just seems like a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, it's a lot. But this movie ended up making a fair amount of
I'm sure
movie
it did.
over the years. Initially, it only made, let's see here, $1.27 million
That's still a profit.
in the United States and Canada. Yeah, that's still a profit. But it was re-released and made another $1.6 million.
That's what happens when it goes in the vault and it comes back.
It came out in 1947 and made another 900,000, and then it made another 4.7 million,
I have a question.
and then it ended up with a worldwide
What
gross.
the heck is Bambi 2 about? Is it about his son?
I don't know. Hang on. It ended up with a worldwide gross of $267 million overall.
Yeah, they made their money.
So they made their
little bit.
their money back just
I saw
a
Bambi
wee
2,
bit.
but I don't know.
I will not be watching a Bambi 2.
Bambi 2. Sequel. Here we go. Set in the middle of Bambi, Bambi 2 shows the great prince of the forest struggling to raise the motherless Bambi and Bambi's doubts about his father's love. The film was released direct-to-video on February 7th, 2006. That's another thing that I thought was hilarious is, so Bambi's dad is not there when he's like born, right? He's like hanging out in the forest being all stoic or whatever. And then Bambi's mom dies and he shows up and he's like hanging out. And then at the very end of the movie, Bambi himself is a dad and his dad is standing right next to him and they're both being all standoffish out in the distance going like, I'm not going to raise you for a couple of years. Have fun out there with your mom.
Once your mom dies, I'll be stepping in.
Yeah,
That's
standoffish
what Bambi
dad.
2 is about. Okay.
That's what Bambi 2 is about, yes.
Doubting his father's
What's the
love.
tomato meter?
Let us keep the circular.
Circular?
Secular?
Tomato.
The cycle of abuse.
Yeah.
On Rotten Tomatoes, this film has a 90% on the tomato meter. Okay, it has a 73% audience score. The critics' consensus
90.
says, elegantly animated and deeply touching, Bambi is an endearing and moving Disney classic.
It did not endear or touch me.
And this movie, I mean, it got a lot of. Shut up. It got a lot of praise at the time. It was nominated for 3 Academy Awards. It didn't win any, but it was nominated for Best Sound, Best Song, and Original Music Score.
I'm going to give this movie a 7.
7.
It was good. The second half. And I appreciate it for what it is. But am I going to watch it again? No. A 7.
I'm going to give it a 6 because, I mean, I'm not giving it lower than that because it is beautiful. Like, it's very well illustrated. The music's pretty good. And I enjoyed, like, the changing of the seasons. But again, that's more of, like, the animation than the story.
Right.
But I can't give it any higher than that because I was not riveted. I did not care.
Yeah.
And when I don't care, then I'm not really paying attention. So it's like, I mean, even when the fire started, I just didn't give a shit.
just
I was like,
not-
okay,
Not into
bye. Like,
Bye, animals.
I mean, that sounds really insensitive to animals because I like animals. But
but not these ones.
they just didn't do a good enough job for me to care.
Right. They didn't build up these characters.
No,
enough
I
for
didn't
you.
care about any of them.
Yeah.
And then when the fire really happened, like, we didn't see Thumper or Flower.
Right. Or Flower. Which
And
is
like if
interesting.
either of them were like in a sitch, I would have been like, "Oh, nah, you don't be
Uh-oh.
coming at my Flower." But like,
They was getting laid. You know, they was not caring about that fire. They were
So
like,
did they die in the flames?
hey,
like
the passions of our love are making everything hot outside. It's crazy.
Ew. But you know what I mean? Like, I didn't care because I didn't.
So they didn't die. We know that because we see Thumper at the end. He's got like 7 kids. He's like, hey, let's go. There's a new
true.
prince in town.
That's true. But I would have cared more in that, like, quote unquote, important scene.
Right.
If our homies had been
If
there.
we had just seen a single shot of them instead of these pheasants. It could have been Thumper's girl that was like, I gotta jump, I gotta go out there, I gotta jump. Poof.
Oh, no.
Cotton balls everywhere. I think I'm going to give this movie a 6.5. I'm going to right in between both of you guys. Its technical aspects are all great, brilliant. There's a lot of cool animation stuff happening here. A lot of stuff that doesn't look quite as stunning anymore, I think. Like, there's the scene where Bambi and the other deer are like fighting, and it's very Mufasa and Scar or Simba and Scar fight, you know. But it's like flashing with like red and yellow lights and stuff like that.
That reminded me of like Fantasia.
Yeah.
Where it's like trying to do like the negative space. Is that what it is? Like
Yeah,
the
I think
negative
so.
opposite color, like where it's black.
Right.
And then it's like the shadow of
But
a
like
color.
inverted colors.
Thank you. And that was kind of hard, not hard to watch, but it was like,
not as pleasing as the rest of the movie, for sure. Yeah, so there's that kind of stuff. But yeah, the story is very, very thin. But it was reminding me of The Lion King, and I was
a little bit.
dang, I want to watch The Lion King now. Like even in that Can You Feel the Love Tonight scene, they're like running, and there's like all the Rafiki dust that's like following that's like following Bambi and Feline. It was like, okay, y'all just taking everything from this movie. So yeah, 6.5. I think that Thumper is the breakout star. Thumper and the Pheasant are the breakout stars of this movie, and they deserve, Oscars themselves, supporting actors.
I cared more about them than I did about Bambi.
Right, that's the thing, is that Bambi is pretty low on my list of characters to care about in this movie.
So before we go any farther, I just have to say, one of my favorite pictures I've seen on the internet is of like people, I want to say it was probably at D23 or something, or some kind of Comic-Con or something, I don't know. And it has all this like group of people dressed up as the Disney villains.
Okay.
Right? And it has like, and these are like good outfits. They're not like funky, and they're not like Disney bounds. They're like full,
right.
Outfits
They're
and
full
things.
cosplays.
And then like, you could see all like the Tumblrs or the tweets or whatever. It definitely was Tumblr because it was like, you could just tell the difference.
Yeah.
And it was like, wow, these are so awesome. And then one person's like, which one's the most evil? And then there's like the guy in the front. And they're like, who is that? And it was literally a dude in a lumberjack costume
It's
with
the
a
hunter,
rifle.
The hunter from Bambi.
Did you find it?
I found
it. And it's literally the hunter from Bambi. And it's like...
That is so funny.
Because at first, I was looking at it too like, who is that
There's
dude?
like Yzma and Hades and Cruella and freaking the evil queen, and then the hunter from Bambi.
And they're like, yeah, he's the most evil of all those villains.
Hilarious.
I've seen
The
that
most
picture
evil.
over the years, and it just makes me giggle every time
That is very
because
funny.
someone was like using the brains on that one. Very funny.
Yeah, so that's been our thoughts on Bambi. Let us know what you thought of this particular film. Did you like it a little bit more than us? Do you have a little bit more nostalgia for it than we do? Because I don't know. I feel like a lot of people are like us, where I watched it once as a kid and then didn't grow up watching it over and over again, like every other freaking Disney movie that was coming out at the time, or even the older ones. Like I've seen Sleeping Beauty and Cinderella a whole buttload of times too. And those came out way before I was born. But this one, I just didn't keep up with. Even Snow White, I've seen way more than this.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I want to know what your nostalgia level is for Bambi. Do you like it? Or were we hating on it too much? Did you think there was rape? Let us know in the comments. Go to at the Walt Vault Pod. We're over there. Next episode, we are going to be talking about the 2019 live-action Disney remake, Aladdin, starring Will Smith and whoever plays Aladdin. I don't know that guy's name.
I don't know.
Will Smith is the
And
star
the girl who
of the
played
show.
the side character in New Girl. But she's also a side character in this movie.
Oh yeah, her name is Nasim Pedrad. I know her name because she was on SNL.
her.
She's hilarious.
Oh God, she's funny.
Yeah, I liked her character in that movie. Yeah, so get hyped for that. We did review the animated Aladdin. I don't know, in some episode. Go back through the thing. You'll find it faster than I can find it right now. But it was quite some time ago, so maybe I'll do a little bit of a re-listen and see what we said. In the meantime, you can keep up with us, as I said, at the Walt Vault Pod on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Hit us up there, slide into our DMs. You can send an email to contact@thewaltvaultpod.com. We'll read your message on the show. And you can support us by, first of all, subscribing to the show, making sure you're subscribed on whatever podcast platform you're listening on. And also go to patreon.com/thewaltvault, where we'll give you a little bit of extra content for a very, very small fee that helps us keep the lights on in this dark, dark vault. I think that's it. Anything else? Nah.
No.
We'll see you guys next time for some magical carpety goodness. The vault is now closed.